everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Racquel Writes. I know it's been a while, but I promise y'all I'm going to try to get more of these episodes out to you this year. I have so many things I want to share on here, and sometimes I just get too wrapped up in the actual production, right, of things, when this was actually supposed to be a very casual type of video, more vlog style, and just me sharing my writing journey. Like I mentioned in the first episode, I used to blog, and I had a blog called Racquel Writes. It's still the name of my website, but I had a blog where I used to talk about things that were happening in my writing life, things that I was reading, just anything about my bookish life, right? And so that's what Racquel Writes is really supposed to be. And I'm also hoping to share info on my writing journey that might help other people. Like maybe my experience might help someone else. And so that's really what this is for. And it's supposed to be very casual. So now that I'm getting back into the swing of things, and also I will say this, small caveat, I had a lot of health challenges. Some of you already know. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. And so last year was the first year that I was like completely out of treatment. There's still things that I have to do, of course, to keep on track and to, like maintenance, right? But the hard kind of treatment is done. So I'm able to now spend time, getting back into the things that I love doing. And Racquel Writes, that's one of them. So today I thought I would talk about some of my writing goals for the new year. I love this part of the year because everything feels sparkly. I like to say it feels sparkly and magical, and planning goals makes me feel like dreaming, right? It's like dreaming for me. So I enjoy the process very much. And so I finally sat down and nailed down exactly what I want to do. And so today's episode, I'm going to talk about two things. Well, it's kind of like two-part. First, I'm going to tell you what I have planned, like what I want to do. But I also wanted to share, I don't know how many of you know this, but I have this workbook that I made called the Right Gym Workbook. And it is based on my accountability and coaching program through Writer's Atelier, called the Right Gym. And so this workbook has some reflection questions, and I just thought I'd kind of go through a few of the yearly questions just so you all can kind of see, what I'm up to. So first, my list of things that I want to accomplish this year. So number one on my list is to finish revising a middle grade mystery novel that I wrote with the writer Christina Farley. Christina Farley is actually a really good friend of mine, and during the pandemic we decided to write a book together, and it was just a way for us to cope, right? Like we were like, let's do something together and let's have fun with it. And we didn't care if it didn't go anywhere. We just kind of wanted to have fun doing something, and it also helped us obviously take our mind off of things. And so it was honestly so much fun. Once we finished, we realized like we have something here and we should tell our agents. So we did tell our agents, and then went through a round of revision on that project, turned it in, got feedback, and now we need to revise again. We have to go through the notes from our agents and then do another revision that will be sent off to them. So number one on my list is getting my middle grade mystery with Christina Farley revised. And actually, I'm having so much fun with that. So I'm really excited about it. And then I also need to publish 2 more books in my my Cardwick series. So I had a novella come out called Christmas in Cardwick, and it was actually a series. And I was trying out the series thing. I have to tell y'all, I learned that I'm just not a series girl. And that's fine, right? I'm a standalone girl, and it's totally fine. I know that you know, from a marketing perspective, especially for an indie romance author, series are usually a good idea. But I just I don't enjoy writing them. And even as a reader, I'm not wild about them either. Like, I'm good with the standalone. I know I'm in the, like, I'm probably in the minority on that, but that's just how it is, right? And so I figured, well, instead of forcing myself into something that I just don't really enjoy, I'm just gonna stick to standalones because that's what I like. And so I did, though, promise people that I would write a series, right? Like I said to my readers that I would write a series for Cardwick. And so I just want to finish that out. So I'm going to finish book 2 and book 3 this year. And then that'll be it for me in series, unless, you know, I never say never, but for the most part, I'm kind of done writing series. But I do want to finish it because I said I would. And so that's one thing I want to finish this year. And then I am also going to, of course, publish another holiday romance. And I already have some ideas for that. I just need to narrow down what exactly I want to do. But that's my tradition. If I don't do anything for the year, I need to at least always publish my holiday romance, right? Because that's what got me started on the indie publishing front to begin with, right? So I'm going to publish that. And then I also have this adult romance novel, holiday romance, of course, that I'm working on with my agent. And I would like to revise that. It's already written, but I need to revise it. And then I have 2 secret projects that I want to finish. Now, this might sound like a lot to you, but just, I should have said this as a disclaimer, but I am an ambitious person. And for me, I found that it's fine for me to like put out all the things that I want to do. And if I don't always quite get to the goal, it's fine because it just rolls over for me. All right, I didn't make it this year. I'll just, you know, there's always next year. So that doesn't like disappoint me. Or like at least disappoint me to the extent of me like not doing anything. So it's fine. And so those 2 secret projects though are sort of more back burner projects. So if I have time, I'll work on those, but they are lower down on the scale of what I want to get done. All right. So those are the things, the writing projects that I want to work on this year. Now, like I mentioned before, I've got this workbook, and so I spent some time going through it and just kind of figuring, like doing the reflection questions and figuring out more on a, I guess, deeper level, right? What I want out of the year, at least for my writing. And so I'm just going to go through some of these questions. So one question in here is, this is the yearly wants list. And it says, I want to stop, and you fill in the blank. So I want to stop, and I fill in the blank with playing small. I have this on here because I tend to do that, right? Not doing the big thing or going after the big thing or taking too much time to go after the big thing. Sometimes the big thing takes me years. So that's one of the things I want to do is to stop playing small. I want to just, if I have the inclination to do something in my writing life, I want to just go ahead and do it instead of taking so much time to think about it. And then also sometimes making the decision to honestly keep myself small. So that's the first one. And then the second one is I want to try. And I filled in the blank with a YA short story because I have written YA short stories, but I really only have one published. So I'd love to go back to writing one. Just, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I've toyed around with maybe writing one that's slightly longer than short story and making it into a novella. Kind of like my like Holiday on Park right here. Ooh, this way, right there. It's like a mini book. So I was toying with that idea. I don't know yet what I want to do with it. Maybe I'll send it to a literary magazine, but I'd like to try that. And then I would also like to try going back to an old project. I have this project that is actually the project that got me my agent, and I haven't been able to work on it because it's a little heavy. and I've been going through heavy things, right, with my health. So I would like to try going back to it. I don't know that I'll be able to, but I'd like to at least try it. So that's on my list too, and that's also a little bit more of a back burner thing. But yeah, I want to at least like pick it up, I guess. I want to learn is the next one. So I want to learn more about organizing and psychology. Part of this is to help other writers, because in the gym, that's helpful information for me because I get to, it helps me help writers through their whatever the trouble they're having. And then I also want to learn more about organization and different kinds of organization because that's also something that would help myself. I generally am fairly organized, but sometimes I feel like I get off the track even of organization. There are moments, where I feel like I feel disorganized. So I just kind of want to learn a little bit more about different kinds of organization, I guess. It's hard to explain in this video, but even organizational tools, right? Because sometimes you just need to find the right tool. So I know that's a little bit of a weirder one for some people, but that's something I want to learn. And then I want to continue, and then that's the next one, and I filled in the blank with write regularly, and then also continue writing and reading romance. Romance is my happy place. As much as I love, I contain multitudes, right? And so I like all kinds of books, of course. I love a good mystery, especially a cozy mystery. I like some thrillers. I like a little bit of nonfiction. I love poetry. So I my reading tastes vary widely, and even sometimes writing. But romance always is the thing that seems to stick as my happy place. And so I want to keep writing and reading romance because it makes me happy and it brings me so much joy. So that's definitely top of the list. We are going to keep writing romance no matter what. That is always going to be my favorite. And then the next one is I want to have, and I filled in the blank with more books out. So that's where finishing the Cardwick series comes in, and then putting out my Christmas romance novella. So I want to have more books out, and then I also want to have a better grasp of my craft. And not that I don't feel like I have a good grasp on craft, but my goal is always to keep getting better as a writer. There is always room for improvement. I think you can be a good writer, but like you can continue to build on that as the years progress. And so that's always one of my number one goals, is to keep getting better, right? And so that's through practice, and then of course education, reading craft books, going to workshops, right? That kind of thing. So I want to have a better grasp of my craft. And then the last question I'm going to go through today is I want to be, and I filled in the blank with a confident writer because I struggle with my confidence all the time. It doesn't matter how many books you put out. It doesn't matter the achievement, right? Because I always have the achievement, I get the thing, and then I got something else. So it doesn't even matter the achievement that you reached. Like I struggle. I continue to struggle with confidence. So I'd like to build my confidence, I guess, and work on that. And then I also want to be a consistent writer. I think for the most part, I would call myself a consistent writer. But again, there's always room for improvement, right? I've learned that I try to touch things every single day, but in various ways. Sometimes it's not like putting words on the page. Sometimes I'm touching projects by researching, or I'm touching projects by just reading through them, to keep them close and keep them top of mind. But that's what I call like staying close to your writing or your project, by like touching it every single day. and that looks different, right, depending on the day. But I think I would like to try at least to go back to that year that I wrote 400 words every day. I think I want to go back to trying to get something down on the page every day. And sometimes it could be like 100 words, just as long as I get something down. So basically taking it up a notch. Instead of like just touching the writing every day, I want to also like be a little bit more intentional by getting something on the page every day. So those are my yearly wants, right? I want to fill in the blank. And so I just kind of took some time asking or like answering that and filling it out from the workbook, which by the way, you all can do too if you want to get this workbook. And there are other questions, reflection questions in here. Maybe I'll do that on I don't know. I'm not going to make any promises. Maybe I'll do that on another video. But I thought I'd just kind of give you all just a little bit of insight on how I end up with goals, right? Like I end up meeting, or I guess not meeting. I end up creating the goals that I create. Sometimes answering the questions in here help me to figure out exactly what I want to do, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. Like I said, it's supposed to be a little bit more casual and vlog style. But that's what I'm going to be up to this year. And I will be sharing the journey as, you know, as we go on through 2024. Maybe the next video I'll try to tell y'all where I'm at with revisions on the middle grade. For now, I'm having to rewrite my first chapter, and I had a lot of writer's block, I admit. But I feel like today, this morning when we had the write-in in the gym, I feel like I kind of broke through it a little bit. But I think that might be a video for another time. But yeah, anyhow, thank y'all for making it this far. If you have been watching, thank you for listening and watching and supporting Writers Atelier and Racquel Writes, obviously. I'm looking forward to these. I hope that as we go on, people will get something out of them. Maybe not this one because it was talking about my writing goals, but honestly, I'm just trying to share. I'm trying to pull the curtain back and hoping that some of it will be helpful as I learn lessons, because I'm always learning writing lessons and learning things about myself. So that's what I'm sharing. And by the way, I should say this, feel free to share what your goals are. I want to get to know you too. So feel free to share your goals in the comments section. I'd love to know what you're up to. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next episode of Racquel Writes. Thanks again for watching. And if you like this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. All right, everybody. See y'all on the next one. Bye.